are chatting to the founder of Azande Coffee, which is Mirriam Mathebula. This is a premium coffee brand that has got now expanded into 2 physical locations. Mirriam, welcome.
Is not enough for all the talents that you have. You can be a business in retail, fashion one day. You can be a monetizer the next. You can be. I mean, I love my corporate job. I am in quite a senior position.
And also just the fact for me as an entrepreneur, coffee plays a big role.
Yeah.
In entrepreneurship for me. I grab a cup of coffee on my way to a meeting. Sometimes coffee is the time that I just get to myself, in the midst of the busyness. Meetings I had over coffee, consultations I had over coffee.
Yeah.
It just plays such a big role in the entrepreneurial journey. Hi there, welcome to Monetize Your Business podcast conversations in partnership with FNB. You know that this is the place where you come to for fantastic entrepreneurial conversations and insights. And of course, this week is absolutely no different. I'm very excited about the conversations that we're having, our guests that we have today that I will be introducing a little bit later on. But before we do so, let's bring in our favorite person. You know who that is? That is our co-pilot, because I'm not flying this plane on my own. Papa Biz, hi.
Hi, how's it? It's good to be back. And yeah, looking forward to this conversation from here.
Yes, absolutely. Looking forward to the conversation as well. Tell me, how has your week been? Any aha moment? What's happening in the world of entrepreneurship?
You know, I've been consumed with this thought. Actually, last week I was having a consultation with this lady, and she was talking about looking to open up her new business, and she had been struggling to find locations, and that she had settled on 2 in particular that she wanted to move forward with at incredible speed. The space was 50,000 Rand rental,
Okay.
and the other was 25,000 Rand rental.
Okay.
And so initially she wanted to go with the 50,000 Rand, but then now she found another space for 25, she was excited about. She's opening a
Yes.
family themed business. And as I was listening to her, I asked her, okay, before you make a decision, just quickly, sometimes we forget that they say it 3 times for a reason: location, location, location.
Yes.
Are you just looking at this because of the money, or you haven't said anything to me about the location?
Yeah.
And then she sat back, and then I asked her, is there anything that concerns you about this location with the 25,000? And she said, come to think about it, actually, there's a liquor store close by, but those guys, they'll move out, man, because all the other business owners I've spoken to there, they complain about that liquor store. People are coming there, drinking, sitting on the grass, and it affects them. They don't, but I'm sure the liquor store will move. And I said, that right there, that is a huge red flag.
Yes.
Sometimes when we are so excited because we want to start with a new venture, we want to move forward, we're ready.
Yeah.
But now we're looking for space and we want to move as fast as possible. You don't realize you can make such a bad decision.
Yes.
And you might not feel it in month 1 or month 3 because everybody's excited, business is coming. But by month 6, when you don't have enough revenue to cover the rental and the other expenses, you will feel that, hey, this was a bad location. Why did I do this? And some of these things you're not aware of until you've been in the space, been in the game, to know, hey, listen, don't do that. That's a very bad decision.
Yeah.
So it was just something that I was thinking about that I thought it would be good to share as well with the listeners, for things to also consider. Location, location, location. They say it 3 times for a reason. It's not an American thing. It's a business thing.
Absolutely. Gosh, that is so true, because I think sometimes we think that, no, man, if I just set it up and it looks nice, people will come. And we don't always take into consideration the environment that the business is running, the business is going to be surrounded by. Sure, that's a big one. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, and actually this is such a nice segue into today's conversation. We are looking into the coffee industry, the retail business of coffee, and we are chatting to the founder of Azande coffee, which is Mirriam Mathebula. This is a premium coffee brand that has got now expanded into 2 physical locations. It's really doing so well. I'm a huge coffee fan and drinker myself, so I'm very excited about today's conversation. Mirriam, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome, Mirriam.
It is so great to have you. And actually, when Papa was sharing his insights with us, I immediately just thought of you because you have opened up one retail space with Azande Coffee and expanding now into a second space. How has your experience of that been from a location perspective?
Yes, we said 3 times for
For a reason.
location. So very interesting insights that I came across because the area that I first opened up in is a very family oriented business.
Yeah.
I mean area, as well as there are other businesses like attorneys, doctors on the same street. So I had a very an idea of who I'm actually going to attract
Yes.
in there. But also, it's on a very busy street. What I didn't anticipate is that it's a busy street, but cars are not going to stop, right? So they're not going to stop and turn into my coffee shop.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things that I got to learn around the location and how, what are the things that I need to do to intercept
Yes.
people. When you say that, if I build it nice, people are going to come, what's going to make them, come? So once you have your product and everything, and I mean, marketing, they speak about the 4 Ps or 7 Ps for a reason.
Yes.
You've got the product, everything else. What are the processes? How are you going to actually get people in?
Yeah.
And the second location actually then speaks to almost the opposite of that, where it's not necessarily, yes, it's busy, etc., but people are on their feet, and
Yes.
it's easy for them to, just walk in, etc. So I'm in a space where I'm experiencing the whole location or the whole place very differently because on one hand, I thought I'm going to attract a certain person.
Yeah.
The person that I'm attracting is actually not somebody who's driving past. It's somebody who is at home because they're on pension and
Really?
yeah, and they're coming through to have their coffee with their buddies or people who are not working.
Okay.
I thought I had a
So
very
these are like what,
different
housewives or is it entrepreneurs or?
housewives, entrepreneurs as well. They have meetings at my coffee shop.
Okay.
I thought, so after school drop off, the Mondays are gonna come. So and we still have
Yes.
after school drop offs, but it's not as high because we are in an area where there's a lot of schools around.
Yes.
Okay.
But people are leaving the area to go to work. They're actually then wanting the coffee when they come back. And I actually anticipated that, people are going to have coffee in the morning. So the location also then determines operating hours, something that I had not necessarily anticipated when I started.
Yes.
But all of this is insight. And I then have to tailor my business around, okay, so the people that are in this area are X. Unfortunately, I didn't have the luxury of having 2 options to choose from.
Okay.
Before I decided to open the coffee shop, it's next to a flower shop.
Okay.
There is footfall.
Yes.
So everything looked, great. I mean, it's still great. It's still great. It's just I need now to adjust and understand my market, who am I attracting,
Yes.
and then again look at my hours, look at the products, etc., and just work with my market and the community, especially because I want to build a community around my
Yes.
business.
Yes.
And that's because coffee is a connector. Like
Yes,
people
it is.
come through.
Yeah.
They want to either have a cup of coffee. I mean, people talk about let's do it over coffee, and there's no
Yes,
coffee
yes, yeah.
inside.
Exactly. We should meet for coffee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just such a thing to say. And, I want to then be that connector where people can come in my space and really feel that they can have that connection either to their purpose, to people, to the next thing that they're doing, and that's the space we're providing.
Now, perhaps, because what I'm interested in finding out why specifically went into the coffee business, but perhaps that can also lend into just letting us know a little bit about yourself,
Yeah.
in terms of, how you grew up and things like that, then help us be able to understand how we ended up with the coffee store.
Sure. So I grew up in a small town called Middelburg, in Mpumalanga. Love the place. My mom and dad are still there, still visit quite often. Came to Joburg in pursuit of a degree and started working here. And had a very fruitful career. Spent a lot of time in the banking industry.
Okay.
And went into insurance for a little bit.
What did you study?
I studied become accounting.
Okay.
But I thought to myself, ugh, this can't be it. There must be more to accounting. But then went on to do finance, honors in
Okay.
finance, and then went on to do my MBA. Where I work now, very different from what I started. Not an accountant at all. I'm in marketing.
In marketing?
Love it.
Sure.
Really?
From numbers to marketing.
Yeah, so actually, you have to understand the numbers of the business in order to understand how, as a marketer, you can grow the business. Marketing is
Very
not only
true.
about the pretty pictures, but it's actually,
Yes.
I see myself as a marketer who is a growth partner to the business.
Okay.
So if I understand the numbers, if I understand how the business needs to grow, what are the KPIs,
Yeah.
I can then, say, right,
Yes.
let's have
You've
these
got the
marketing
best
strategies.
of both, actually.
I love it. I
Yeah.
really love the
that.
space that I'm in and the job that I'm at. Now, fast forward to in my studies, when I was studying my MBA,
Yeah.
I actually, one of my assignments with my syndicate was to study the commodity coffee. So it was just
Okay.
a
Oh,
random,
really?
yes.
Okay.
So I was studying the commodity coffee. We had to understand how coffee gets farmed and imported, and what's the journey? Like, how does a coffee move from the tree to cup?
Yes.
I didn't even know at the time that coffee grows on trees. It's green, it's farmed, it's imported, it's roasted. And so part of the assignment, I needed to do the costing. I mean, I would naturally in a syndicate
Yeah.
do the costing as an accountant. So I looked at what's the cost of getting a coffee from where it is into a cup, into your home,
Yes.
etc. So I then had to follow the journey, or I followed the journey to say, oh, it gets farmed. Most coffee comes in from Brazil and other African countries and all other countries. In fact, there's 70 countries that produce coffee, and that's also just based on the tropical or the environment, the climate
Yes.
that country has and offers coffee to grow. It's then imported and then it's roasted. So I then said, okay, after the assignment, I'm going to find these players. I want to find out in South Africa who imports coffee.
Yes.
Then I started researching who imports coffee. Who are roasters? How many roasters are there? Found them,
Yes.
called them up, got to understand. Now, this was over and above, the assignment. The assignment ended, and I told my syndicate, guys, I'm actually going to pursue this further. I just want to see something. Before I know it, I was packaging coffee.
Wow.
Found the roaster, selling to my classmates
Amazing.
at Gibbs, and and that the rest is history. So this was 2021.
Okay.
And I remember working with my roaster, which is the guy that I'm still working with today.
Oh, that's amazing.
And just speaking of relationships, I mean, they were so helpful. I knew nothing about coffee, and I remember them saying, "And you're not going to go into it full time?" I'm like,
sure.
It's just a side thing. They're
Yeah.
like, no, you have this is such
Yes.
a world. It's a world out here.
Yes.
In the coffee industry, you have to do it full time. But I mean, at the time, I was just very happy to just getting my beans and roasting. And for me, it was exciting. It was just like a thing that I've done on paper, and now I'm doing it live. And yeah, and I always called it Azande coffee. Azande means increase.
Okay.
I love that.
Increase. So my daughter's name is actually Azande. So when she was born, it was let the blessings increase.
Yes.
Azande, Magwande.
Yes.
And I started packaging and calling the coffee Azande, let your passion overflow. That's
Yes.
that was the tagline then. Overflow is still the thing, because I just believe that with every cup of coffee, I
Yes.
want whatever it is that you are thinking about, whether it's a meeting you're having,
Yes. Yeah.
let it overflow, let it increase.
Yes.
At least that's my vision, that I have for the coffee shop and the people who interact with us. And that's me.
Sure, and
That's
then
how we got here.
And then let me ask, because I mean, we'll see different coffee shops and coffee brands popping up. And look, just to let you know, I mean, Hetty's a big coffee drinker. Myself, I haven't drank coffee since 2003. So
He's not a coffee
I'm not a coffee person.
Okay.
I'm enough for the both of us.
So
though.
I'm not. So
I love
I'll see different coffee businesses
Okay.
opening up and so on, and I guess you might be in an advantage considering how you'd look at it from the MBA perspective.
Yeah.
But as you were going, what problem were you looking to solve, or how would you look to differentiate yourself
Yeah.
from other random coffee businesses?
That's an interesting question, because you're right. There's like new coffee shops that are popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
But I believe that because of Azande and what it means and what I've sat with, with this vision, I believe that there's an abundance, and
Yes.
that's how, we treat everything at the coffee shop. There's an abundance of customers, there's abundance of resources to make this work, and there's abundance,
Okay.
firstly, right? And in that, though, the stats actually show that there's abundance, right? Because I actually came across a stat that says, coffee is one of the biggest commodity, almost second to oil.
Really?
Goodness.
So
That is
coffee
insane.
Really?
is actually big. It's
Hey, you
big.
coffee people are serious, eh?
We are so
You
serious
guys.
about our coffee. Like, we're not playing.
So apparently there are 2.4 billion of you,
Wow.
of us, who drink coffee
Wow.
on a daily basis.
Sure.
So from a industry perspective, from an economy perspective, coffee is one of the largest beverages that's consumed
Okay.
by human beings. So from a business perspective, is there an opportunity? Absolutely.
Okay.
Is it saturated? Maybe not in South Africa, and maybe not yet. Right? So is there still place for another coffee shop? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, interesting. Okay. No, that
There
makes sense.
is. So from a call it, what are the numbers saying? The numbers are saying, let's go into business. And from a brand perspective, absolutely. So whilst there are other coffee shops, no one's going to do it like me, right?
Yes.
There's the passion that I have. There's a love of business that I have, and one of the things that I really want Azande to be is a digital native business. And what I mean by that
Yeah,
is,
tell us more.
I'm building Azande Coffee to be a very digital focused, from a numbers perspective, from an analytics perspective, the way I record my sales, the way we
Yes.
record everything in the business. In fact, even
Do you record it on paper or digitally?
Digitally.
on digital.
Yeah, when
so-
you're further than we were, eh? You don't know.
When we first started.
and that's the thing, right? There's
Yeah.
retail businesses that started somewhere, and I'm careful not to jump straight into AI, but where I'm coming is that, when you have the data, you are
Yes.
then able to feed technology to then give you,
Yes.
what you need, i.e.,
Absolutely.
AI. So currently, the vision, especially from a digital perspective, and from how is it different, the vision is to have agents really running a coffee shop, right? AI agents running a coffee shop. Right now, I'm building a database for my sales, a database for my customer,
Lovely.
database for how I do my ops, database how I do marketing.
Yes.
And ultimately, I want to be able to have AI running the entire business.
That's brilliant.
In the sense that, there must be an agent for the
Yes.
operations. And
Yes.
yes, it will never replace a physical barista and a conversation that happened, in the coffee shop, but the running of the business. And that's
Yes,
why
that
what
efficiency.
I mean, that efficiency, it is the data that's going to do it. In fact, one of the things that I did do, though, and now jump straight into AI, is actually a positioning a video.
Okay.
So it's literally an advert.
Okay.
Yeah, an advert that speaks to the kind of people who come to the coffee shop. We actually sat with the guys that I worked with
Yes.
and looked at who comes to the coffee shop. We then
Yes.
created personas
Oh,
of all these individuals to represent.
those people.
Yeah, each persona has a life of their own. There's a student, there's a mom who is like dropping kids off at school, that there's a grandpa and grandfather, and these are people who actually come to the coffee shop, right?
Yes.
There's runners, there's people always running past my coffee
Yes.
shop. So all of these are culminated in a video that is our positioning video for Azande Coffee. And
Yeah.
for me, I'm like, okay, so we are in the new era. So
Yeah.
now
Of course, yeah,
I did
yeah,
not,
yeah.
I didn't have a production, that put together a video, but we sat with somebody who is an editor who would then
Lovely.
prompt in a way that an editor or producer would,
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
to put together this thing. So yes, there's still space for another coffee shop done differently. I see a world where you come into the shop, Hetty, and we are able to craft a cup that
Yes.
you like because it's tailor made to you
Yes.
according to the
And you can remember my preferences.
exactly.
Yeah, that's very good.
Exactly.
That's
So
beautiful.
surface level, it is okay. Hetty wants a cappuccino, but deeper, Hetty loves a cappuccino, but we actually have a special blend that, speaks to her love of that caramel, taste, or
wow.
they like a darker roast versus the other person. And yes, personalization. Maybe at a coffee shop, it's like cappuccino. It's just a cappuccino. No.
No,
So there's
not at
different
all.
exactly there's different
Yeah.
textures and tastes, and one person is different from the other.
Yes.
So I do see that there's a place for, call it, personalization. Over and above just calling Hetty by her name when she comes in.
Yes.
Over and above just saying, oh, okay, do you want your regular? But it's more of, if Hetty comes in and says, I'm feeling happy today. I just closed an amazing deal. What type of bean or what type of drink could actually
Yes.
complement that? Similarly
Yes.
to when, when we eventually convert you to a coffee drinker.
It's not happening. Good luck with
comes
that.
And he says, today I really need a
Yeah.
pick me up. What drink do I need? And we can actually recommend something that is that you like, that you would
Yes.
enjoy.
This is very detailed. It actually reminded me when we had our retail businesses in the beginning.
Yes.
Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're just running around and starting off.
Sounds
I
familiar.
mean, we used to have things on paper, all the sales and everything. Even as we were opening up different shops in different locations, it was only afterwards when we were going through mentorship with Vusi Tembagwayo's team, where it was like, okay, let's slow down and let's now go and digitize and build with. So when I'm hearing from you, I mean, that's very good in terms of how you're personalizing and using the numbers and the analytics. From your perspective, when you're looking at this now, in the early days, what are some of the challenges that you went through? Interesting challenges, because you only know it when you start. Where
Yeah.
like, geez, what do I do here?
So, firstly, walking into something that I had absolutely no idea of. I literally read it from a piece of paper, which
Okay.
was
Yeah.
the MBA paper, but still a piece of paper. I had no idea
Yeah.
that I'm actually walking into a retail business. I'm walking into a hospitality
Yes.
space. I'm not selling just coffee. I'm selling ambiance. I'm selling moments. I'm selling all these other things that I had no idea. I also didn't have an idea that in my handbag you'd find a screwdriver. Right? Because the door, I must
The
fix
door.
the door.
Yeah.
I'm hanging pictures. I'm hanging like
My
there's a screwdriver in my bag, and I'm
Oh
just
my
like, okay,
gosh.
I did not sign up for this. I also did not sign up for like really understanding people and like understand what people want, especially from a career perspective. I'm used to talking to corporate athletes, very different space. The motivation drivers are very different. So having to draw up a contract, and I have to reference basic conditions of employment.
Yes.
Understanding the South African law when it comes to hours. You can't
Yes.
just like make
Yes.
people work forever and a day.
Yes.
Like there's rules, there's how people need to take rest, etc. Which is fortunately, things that I love and I care about. People, I want to motivate people to do what they
Sure.
love and to take rest, etc. But actually having to detail everything.
Yes,
like,
it's a lot.
I rock up at work. I leave when I want to leave. At work, at home, I'm still working, etc. We talk about work-life balance, but really, when you're passionate about something, so you can't expect that from people.
Yes.
So having to be very detailed about, this is what you need to do. These are the systems that you have to
Yes.
have in your organization.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I'm just like, okay, this
Yeah.
does not look glamorous at all.
Okay.
The
And I-
full business side of
Yeah.
coffee.
Yeah. It's
Sure.
still a business. And also admitting that I don't know. So I don't know about, like, there are baristas out there who understand and love coffee. Right?
Yes, yes.
And I had to get those guys in, but also understanding that I'm bringing somebody who's then going to tell me in my business how things must work.
Yeah.
Ish,
So that means I also had to learn a lot of things that I was just like, no, I'm just doing the business side of it, but you can't.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
you need to understand your espresso shot. How is it extracted? How many minutes it takes to extract the perfect one? You know, like there's just so many things
There's
that
so many
yeah.
elements. I want to talk a little bit about collaboration, Mirriam, and even just the power of building a network that is monetizable. That's our theme in this month of August. Has networking collaboration played a role in your business?
Absolutely. And I refer to my career, right?
Okay.
The people that I've met in the spaces that I've been in the companies that I've worked for have actually become my connectors of
Love
note,
that.
right? And for me, when somebody says, "Hey, are you still going to be in corporate?" I'm like, "Yes," because I'm still building my pipeline
Yes, yes.
of either investors, of customers, of there was a time when my previous employer actually bought coffees from me for
Oh,
nice.
really?
from an exhibition for an exhibition rather,
Okay.
right? So I was an ex-employee, but the time was right, and
Yes.
also I could package, coffee set for
Yes.
their partners and customers, etc.
Yes.
So yes, definitely monetizing those networks. But I think what is important for me is I am a connector, right?
Okay.
Yes, yes.
So my connections are accidental. Like
Okay.
I'll connect Hetty to whoever's looking for whatever Hetty has, or I'll connect with, and then I'm there in the mix, right? And
Yes.
I've now built a connection or a network.
Yes.
I never really go out and say I am building a network.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know?
Also, because it adds pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
When
And
you do that.
I never want somebody connecting with me because they think I want something or they are now obliged to give me something. I mean, I reflect on our relationship and how we met
Yes.
online.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I think I can't remember the exact context, but there was a competition online, and
Yes.
I kept that. In fact, we've
Yes.
done well to keep the relationship, and
yes.
I'm here now. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it wasn't like, hey, I want to connect with Hetty, but it was more of how can I offer myself, or what is
Yes.
it that I would like to do,
Yes.
for the next person, or actually let me connect, this individual to that individual, and that for me has really worked. And just lastly, for my career, what I've also noted to be a really good place for me to be in is to just have a track record. So
Yes.
people at whoever I worked with, they know me for something. They know me
Yes.
for, oh, Mirriam, she'll deliver, she'll get this done. Or, Mirriam loves people, loves youth. She loves concepts. Like, so there's specific things that people know me for. And therefore, when I say, hey, I've got a coffee shop, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know
Okay.
Mirriam will deliver,
Yes,
or we know her in this light. Therefore, there's a
Yes.
track record here.
Yeah.
So I think networks, absolutely, and I have built them.
Yes.
Some intentional, but some more intentional to help the next person or connect
Okay.
Yes.
them to another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, I really love that. And I love what you're saying about the fact that just how people know you also contributes to your network, because it's how they talk about you
Yeah.
in rooms when you're not there
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
So I want to check. I mean, if I've heard you correctly, I mean, in this venture now, you said it's been how long you having the coffee shop?
So I've had the coffee shop for 5 months now.
5 months. Okay, and then so with there, people are able to come into the coffee shop and experience a coffee shop and have coffee. You mentioned something about a previous employer bought coffee from you as well. So you also retail bags of
Yes.
coffee as well.
Yes.
Okay, so great. So just tell us in terms of the full offering of Azande coffee, and then also in terms of where you see this going in the next 5 years.
Okay. So at Azande, we welcome you in.
Yeah.
Always welcome at Azande. What we started doing actually, the first day we opened, we take a picture, instant picture of yourself. We have a founder's wall
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
on our wall, so all our customers,
That is so lovely.
they come in, and it's so interesting because people will be like, oh, my mother came here before me. Oh, my friend came here and they didn't tell me.
Oh, wow.
So we have a whole wall that features our customers, and we want to continue with that to say, people come in and say, hey, I'm going for an interview. Want to come when you've gotten the job? Come through.
Yeah.
Let's take a picture. Let's put it up. Let's celebrate moments. So we offer, coffee, lattes. We offer cold brew. It's a very popular among young people. So it's coffee that's iced. We have matcha. We have smoothies. We also have nibbles. So we have croissants,
Lovely.
muffins.
Okay.
We offer a full bouquet.
Nice one.
We're also next to a Airbnb or hotel, so we have breakfast. So we've also had to look at who's around us,
Yes.
so we can tailor that. So we have that full offering. We also do events,
Oh,
Okay.
really?
Yes.
Nice.
and so we call us up if you're having an event. We're excited to partner with
Yes, yes. Exciting. Exciting,
So,
exciting.
I mean, events are actually quite popular, especially now we're getting into summer months.
Okay.
So we do
Absolutely.
offer
People
our
are outside
exactly.
attending all kinds of events. Yeah.
Yeah. So coffee as well as smoothies. We offer that.
And we're looking forward to having you at this year's I26. I thought, this is such a beautiful partnership. Our theme for I this year is African excellence. And we are celebrating businesses that operate excellently, and that are really a beautiful showcase of that. And I think Azande is definitely right up that line. And also just the fact for me as an entrepreneur, coffee plays a big role.
Yeah.
In entrepreneurship for me. I grab a cup of coffee on my way to a meeting. Sometimes coffee is the time that I just get to myself.
Yeah.
In the midst of the busyness, meetings are had over coffee, consultations are had over coffee. It just plays such a big role in the entrepreneurial journey. What are you looking forward to in terms of Azande Coffee being at I26?
Yeah. So I26 is one of the events that I've always wanted to go to. I think it did fall on my anniversary one time, and it just never happened that I go,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
this time coming on as in the way that we're coming on as Azande,
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
And just having a space full of energy. I mean, I love
Yes.
entrepreneurs because
Yes.
these are people who are go-getters.
Absolutely.
And so having this year-end function for them is very, very exciting.
Yep.
Yes.
And so for me as a brand that's among such big brands, I'm very looking forward to that. And when you talk about excellence, that's exactly what we want to do
Yes.
with Azande, just really putting this name on a global stage. And so starting with our entrepreneurs in South Africa, like the way we would
Yes.
in November, for me it's so fitting. It feels so right. It feels like Azande is entering a big stage.
Yes.
That is I26. I think it's a great property, and it's a
Yes.
great brand to be associated with, and I'm looking so forward to that. And in that, I'm saying congratulations as well.
Thank you.
for building
We're
such a stage.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah, such a stage. So I'm very excited to be entering the stage.
No, cool, man. And I guess, thanks for that. It's all about collaboration and moving forward with different companies. And, one of the things as we're looking to wrap up, I mean, from your experience and your journey, what type of advice can you give other entrepreneurs, who are perhaps just a bit afraid to start? And let's say more specifically to those who are enjoying the comforts of senior and management within corporate that are afraid to start. What advice can you give for them?
Firstly, this lifetime is not enough for your talents.
Say it
Preach,
again.
sister. Wow, that was powerful.
This lifetime is not enough for all the talents that you have. You can be a business in retail, fashion one day. You can be a monetizer the next. You can be. I mean, I love my corporate job. I am in a quite a senior position. I enjoy what I do there. But hey, I've written a book. I've started there is. This lifetime is not enough for the talents that you have.
Sure.
For me, I look at the grays
Yes.
I'm like, ooh, so much potential is lying here.
yes.
I
Yo.
am not taking my talents to the
Sure.
grave. Like, I'm going to try and do something,
Yes.
that I've never done before. Because guess what? You're not going to be great on your first day.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
first day is actually going to be the worst. Like, I know more now than I knew before I started.
Sure.
But there was
Absolutely.
no way I was going to know if I
Yes.
did not start. Right?
Yes.
So I love trying different things because you just never know what's actually going to work. Because guess what? There's so much talent in you.
Absolutely.
And you have to discover it. You have to, treat yourself like an onion, right? Peel each layer until you
Yes.
get to, what's inside. So for me, really, to the entrepreneur out there, try. Just do it. Just do it. You never know what you'll find along the way. And this lifetime is not enough for the talents that you have. You have so much talent in you.
Sure. Such very, very powerful parting words. Papa Biz, how has this conversation been for you? Any aha moments from our conversation with Mirriam?
It's interesting. There's something that you mentioned that it just took me back. I mean, there's quite a couple, but this in particular that your business speaks to, where when you spoke about the barristers and the knowledge that they have and how it's actually aided you. And it's that, when we start and we're running a business, sometimes corporate people, they don't get it. But when you're running a business, hire good people, hire good talent, so that they can tell us
You what to
what to do.
Yeah, you don't have to do all the
Okay,
thinking.
because there's so many different hats that we have to wear, and sometimes I remember like in corporate where sometimes like egos get involved, but it's that idea that hire really really good people so that they tell us what to do, not the other way around. Because if I must tell my people what to do in every single place, I'm going to get burned out.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely,
there's
must
too
know
many different
everything.
hats that I need to wear as a business owner and entrepreneur. So that was something that I got from what you were discussing. Thanks for sharing that.
I also got some very good aha moments, and I think the two things are intertwined. Firstly, just the meaning of Azande, increase, growth, abundance. Sometimes we don't realize that we are deserving of all of that overflow in our businesses. And the fact that our gifts and talents are just not enough for this lifetime. There's just so much that we have inside of us that is looking for expression through our businesses, through the way we navigate life and so forth. And it is such a gift to be able to share it with others. So I think that's really, truly inspired and motivated me. That was just so wonderful. So thank you so much for the conversation, Mirriam.
Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Monetizers, that brings us to the end of today's conversation. I hope that you have been motivated and inspired by Mirriam. And most importantly, I hope that you will pop into Azande Coffee. Go and have a cup of tea, go and have a cup of coffee, I beg your pardon. Go and read a book, have a meeting there, meet somebody that you've never met before and strike a conversation. I think that's the beauty of coffee that I love, is that it opens doors to connections with others. Please do let us know what has struck you the most in the comment section. Share your aha moments with us. And don't forget to plug into Monetize Your Business on all social media platforms. And we will see you in the next conversation. Bye-bye.